Curious affair at the G-Tech tonight. Brentford were totally dominant against Manchester United, but it was the visitors who scored what they thought was the winner after 96 minutes through Mason Mount. 3 minutes later, and that was cancelled out by Christopher Ajer. They finished one apiece. One.
Mason, an incredible finish to that game. Overall, do you have to take the point, or gutted that you couldn't hang on?
Yeah, obviously when you go 1-0 up right at the end, you want to try and hang on to that, and I think if we look at the game overall, it wasn't up to our standard. We know that as a group, we know that as players that we can definitely step up and have better performances than that. But you score late at the death, and you think we can maybe hold on, get 3 points out of this, but maybe we didn't deserve it in the end.
You were thrown on, really, I guess, as a sort of that hope that you would get something, that you could nick something. What were the instructions you were sent on with?
Yeah, obviously come on the left, and it was, for me as a sub coming on the pitch, you want to try and get involved, try and affect the game, try and have an impact. And obviously when it fell to me in the box, there was only one thing in my mind, and then put it in the bottom corner and help the boys out. Obviously we didn't get to celebrate at the end, but no, that for me coming on the pitch, that's exactly what I want to try and do.
And overall for the team, why do you think it was such a difficult evening?
Listen, they make it difficult. It's never easy coming here trying to play good football, and they make it very tough. They get around you, and I just maybe didn't get it going from the beginning. They had a few chances first half, and obviously had a few more in the second, and yeah, we know we can do better. That's the beginning and end all. Yeah, we know we can improve, and we need to, because we need to win games, and we know the top four. We want to be there, top five, and also we've got big games in the FA Cup coming up. So listen, we need to. We will improve. We will work hard. But yeah, we know what's in hand now.
Point apiece, and have a look at these statistics. Eye-watering as far as Manchester United fans are concerned. 53% possession was probably as good as it got, but 81 touches in the opposition box for Brentford, 31 shots on the United goal by the Bees, who started the day just 4 points above the bottom three, but could only make 5 of them count on target. United's goal count or shot count was 11 in all, with the same as Brentford's 5 on target. The expected goals, though, 2.6 to Brentford. They should have won that game almost by 3 goals to nil. They finished one apiece. What do you take away from that then, Andy?
A point.
That's a good point. And that's a good point.
That's a good point. And it's that simple. And I think Manchester United can go away thinking, right, we've got a point. Because really, did we deserve a point? No. We got played off the park, didn't create many chances, if any chances, get a late goal. And then if Man United end up winning the game, that just papers over the correction of the inconsistency they've had this season. I thought it was really, really poor to them. Brentford should have won the game comfortably in the end.
The thing is, with Brentford having had 30 shots on goal, hitting the woodwork 4 times, it was almost as if the script was written for Manchester United to come up with a late winner. So when Mason Mount pops up after 96 minutes, what were you thinking, Pete?
I'm thinking this is the greatest steal of all time. Because literally didn't do much right in the game. I mean, this is like, that could have been a foul given against Højlund there. But Mason Mount's come on. He's hardly done anything for Manchester United since he arrived at the club. And so many times we've seen in the Manchester United history that somebody turns out and becomes a hero. You think that's one of those moments. But in all fairness, I mean, that would have been so undeserved had that stood as a 1-0 win. And it comes down to a lot of things. We look at the stats. So you're looking at all, the touches in the opposition. I'm looking at how much did the team work, how much did they run. So Brentford ran 5 kilometres more than Manchester United. I think that tells a very big story about what this game was all about. Brentford wanted to win. They wanted to chase, every ball. You see Ivan Toney there just dominating everybody. We changed both our centre halves. One at half-time, one later, both of them injured. New guys are coming on. They're not making their mark. No, nobody's really doing what we expect them to do. The standards are low. The pride. I mean, we grew up with Sir Alex Ferguson at the club. You had to have you had to be proud of what you did on the pitch. We could win 1-0. We could lose 1-0, sorry, and he would come in and say that was fine because the performance was there and you tried and you tried. Here, it's kind of like a nothing thing. But there's so many things to work on.
There is, but I did say, and I kept saying to Schmeich, we're going to win the game 1-0. I just kept saying...
You had that feeling?
Yeah, it was just had that feeling. We was going to win 1-0 because, you know, as bad as Manchester United played, you know, because Brentford weren't taking their chances, they kept creating chances, weren't taking their chances. As I said, I think we'll win the game 1-0 because that is Man United. Man United can play like that and win a game 1-0 and everyone's like, oh, fantastic, Man United won 3-0. But like I said, that only papers over the cracks of the inconsistency.
But it doesn't feel like that now, does it? It doesn't feel like it's Man United. Even scoring in that moment, I said the game's not over, it's not done yet. The commentator said it straight after, it's not finished, the game's not... And it wasn't. Brentford never changed the way they played before they got 1-0 down and after. It wasn't like now they were pushing on. Yeah. They just kept going and they kept creating chances. You said they hit the woodwork 4 times. When they scored, if you look at Van Bissaka on the Brentford goal, and this is what I mean by standards, Van Bissaka is out there to the left, right? The ball gets crossed, and now look at him. He's walking up, walking. He's jogging. And Ivan Toney would have been offside had he followed the back 4 line up. You know, and then that goal wouldn't have happened. And these are little things. Look at it here now. Look at him coming out.
Yeah, get up.
Look at it.
Get up.
You know, that's not Man United. That's not pride. That's not high standards. That's not focusing on what your job is. He has cost, not to blame him for this, but in that moment, because of what he did and actually didn't do, simple thing like concentrating, they equalised.
And we've got to give Brentford credit here, right? I mean, the fact they were so dominant and then go behind, they could have literally fallen on their knees in despair. But they battled back, and Burma, who's come off the bench to play a key part down the right, and then they get the equaliser there through Christopher Ayer. And have a look at that. Since February the 1st, the most shots faced on their goal, 181, Manchester United. They've conceded at least 20 shots on their goal in 6 of the last 7 games. Luton are the next highest with 166.
You look at the bottom of the table there, apart from West Ham, you know?
That's right, yeah.
And it's all about that standards.
And if you want to compare standards, Arsenal in that same period have faced 39 shots.
Yeah, but they're top of the league.
Exactly, and that shows the difference.
I get that, but should
what
that
you're talking about is goal changes games.
It shouldn't
it's not
be like
just
that.
scoring goals, it's also
that.
conceding goals.
Defensively, Manchester United are not the strongest. And I think they've proved that over many weeks now. Well, not many weeks, the season. They're not the strongest defensively. And we talked about the partnerships. How many partnerships have they had from the start of the season till now?
Well, before today, it was 20 different back fours.
20 different back fours. I mean, but Manchester United keeping clean sheets has been a problem due to the fact that they don't defend the way they should defend with the experience and the players that they do have. They're very open. You know, and if you look at the game in the whole today, Manchester United were very open again. But got away with it.
But it's everywhere. It's
yeah,
not,
for sure.
We're not talking about the back four not doing their job.
It's everything.
It's everything. In order to win games and keep clean sheets, you have to defend as a team. But when you have 2 wingers that do nothing, for instance, it's very, very difficult to defend when the other team's midfield players, they've got time on the ball and can pick their passes. You have to put pressure on the ball all the time to make them make bad passes or inaccurate passes. That's how defenders, when they snap them up, it's because they're not accurate enough. But if you give those midfield players time and to look up and actually, put the right weight on the pass, it's nearly impossible to defend.
For sure.
OK, time for a quick break, though, on Matchday Live. When we come back, more reaction to come.
Yes, I think so. But if you are winning, you shouldn't give it away. And normally we have a strong side, we are very strong in such situations, and we have to bring it over the line. So that's very disappointing.
Why do you think they couldn't bring it over the line?
We make some mistakes. We have to talk about this, of course. We should act differently in that occasion where we concede the equalizer. Was absolutely unnecessary. But yeah, as I say, if you are in stoppage time, if you make that goal, and maybe we didn't deserve, but I have to make compliment for the team that they hang in the game and they kept fighting. Although I thought Brentford wanted more during the whole course of the game, but then you have to take it over the game, take it over the time.
Why do you think Brentford made it so difficult for you on the night overall?
There is so many points to make, and I think in the final third we were not ball secure. We were also slow. Second balls defending, we were not good. They were more aggressive on such balls, and then they have more initiative, and that should be the other way around.
Is it puzzling for you then that performances dip all round as a team?
No, I'm experienced. I know. But even when we don't play well, we have to win the game, and we did almost, and that is what disappoints me the most.
But it must be frustrating when you come here and see a performance like that on the back of the previous one.
No, but I know always after international break, then there will be always the levels never that high than before, because they are out of the rhythm. They are going to different nations, all different systems. They need minimum a half to get into our system and in our way of play. But still, as I say, when we don't play so good, we have to win, and we almost won, and that is what me most disappoints.
Did it need the senior players maybe to stand up and be counted, to take the initiative and try and see something from Brentford?
But we have many senior players. We should all stand up, and we also all should take responsibility for this.
Has it been the story of the season a bit, that you haven't been able to back performances up?
I think from January on, we are very consistent in our performance. So that's not the truth what you are making from this.
And in terms of the Champions League places, do you feel it's perhaps asking too much now? You're too much distance behind the teams above you?
No, we will keep fighting, and it can be a very good point in the end.
Interestingly, he talks about Aston Villa and Spurs, but for United, it's about top 5. 8 points off the top 5, which at the minute could provide Champions League football next season. 9 games left of United's season. What did you make of what Mason Mount said there?
Yeah, interesting. I think he was honest enough to say we didn't deserve the 3 points. For him personally, I think because he's had such a difficult season to come on and be able to get the goal, I think that's going to be a big plus for himself. But in general, just not good enough, and he touched on that as well. Standards not high enough.
Peter, I just wonder, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming on board and the Liverpool win, how much is that a reality check today as to what is happening around Manchester United?
But it's not. I mean, it's not really only today, is it? It's been hit and miss all the way throughout the season, really. I mean, you're saying that with 8 points off top 5, when top 4 last season. So certainly things need to be done, and today was just an example of how much.
Okay. That's where we're going to have to leave today's Matchday Live. My thanks then to Andy and to Peter. Thank you too as well for your company. It's great to have the Premier League back. Plenty of drama. We've got the top 3 to come on Sunday.